Clover's Path, Chapter 2. The moon began to glow. It was late and the first course had just reached the hunting grounds. Make sure to be on the lookout for panthers. They're shy but dangerous, Tiger instructed. Spangled Heart seemed to nod proudly. Yes, sir. We'll make sure we don't get ourselves into a fight with any of those big cats. Clover rolled her eyes at the pup. Yes, sir. Clover stood up, hiding her fear as much as she could. Bramble walked over to his sister and nuzzled her. Hiding your fear won't help. Dogs can smell fear, you know. The puppy grinned. Her brother always knew what to say. You're right, big brother. Now, watch and learn. Tiger spotted a blue jay. He dropped into a crouch. After a car passed by, he dashed across the road, his tiny claws clicking on the asphalt. He leapt and bit the bird in its neck. He stood there, thanking the maker for his catch before turning his head and smiling. See? That is how you catch a jay. Remember, not all types of prey require the same hunting technique. He barked, his words muffled by the feathers of the bird. Clover looked in awe. Her brows lifted and her eyes dilated. The excitement was tingling in her fur. Who would like to go next? At Tiger's question, Clover's belly began to swirl with fear. Her hackles bristled with a cold feeling. I can't wait to see Clover's hunting technique. It's going to be so ridiculous. Isn't that right, Quicktail? Spangled Heart snickered, turning her head towards the windhound who snarled at her. That's not funny, Spangled, Quicktail growled. Clover pretended not to hear the taunts of the two. She dropped into a crouch. A cardinal was pecking at the ground. Before she even had the chance to react, she could hear a howl beside her. Clover took off, her hind legs propelling her off the ground. The pup stopped. She could feel a rumble below her. The source of the noise definitely wasn't her. Her tummy was full and satisfied. She looked up and saw a car driving towards her. Run! Tiger cried. The borzoi stood in fear. She turned her head towards the right. Quicktail was heading straight for her. Sure, that hound may be a little short-sighted, but he was willing to step into danger to save another pup. Instead of feeling a blinding impact from the front, she felt Quicktail body slam into her. The car rumbled away into the night. Clover was frozen. Her pupils were pinpricks, and she wasn't moving. Quicktail? She managed to whisper. Her eyes widened, and she stared at Spangled Heart, whose hackles were raised in fear. Clover! She snarled. Spangled Heart! You almost got her ran over! Tiger shouted into Borzoi's face. I swear I didn't. No more lying! He panted, trying to catch his breath. You should be punished for your actions. You must clean up old dens, you cannot join pack gatherings, and you will never participate in the big hunt. Spangled Heart placed her paws over her face, which was red in anger. The dog mumbled, raising her paw before trotting off to the pack site in misery. Clover! Do you have any cuts? Magpie yelped, his eyes filled with worry. No, just a scratch. We can hunt back at the camp, she replied, licking a bruise on her shoulder. She glanced at Quicktail for a moment, as if she was saying thank you. Tiger led the pups back to the site, their noses guiding them home. The whippet stopped on a trail. He looked up. He could smell the scent of newborn puppies. He disappeared into the bushes without a word, leaving Clover and the apprentices alone and confused. Where did he go? Bramble whispered. The other pups didn't have a clue of what happened. Clover shrugged. Magpie shook his head. Quicktail sighed. They decided to follow Tiger into the bushes. The leaves scratched their pelts and their paws thumped like thunder. Lily! Clover could hear a voice howl. This wasn't Tiger. This was her father, Orbit. Mother must be in trouble, she thought. The young borzoi set her gaze over the ditch. There were dogs entering the healing den. I think Mother is hurt, the borzoi howled, turning her head towards her flanks where she could see the pups behind her. She crouched down and jumped. Now she could see the pack from below. She pricked her ears to the left. The healer's den was bustling with barking and yelping. The rest of the dogs followed her by her tail. Clover walked inside. She could see Lily, but not just Lily. She saw the dog, now nursing 4 new pups, and she looked quite tired. "Mother?" Clover squeaked. Honey, the first healer, spun around to face the borzoi. "She's tired. Let her rest." Soon, the other sighthounds followed the curious pup into the den. They were all met by the stare of Honey, which they understood and kept their jaws shut. "I wonder what she'll name the puppies," Clover grinned. She was a big sister. All her siblings were. "Go on now. Leave. Your mother's trying to sleep." Honey growled. All the pups sprinted out, as if they were being chased by Honey's words. They stopped at the middle of the pack site. Quicktail chuckled as he looked up. Spangled Heart was getting scolded by the leader once more. "You need to stop this behavior, Spangled Heart." "I didn't even try to get her ran over. It must have been someone else." The leader didn't believe Spangled Heart's words, but there was a hint of honesty she couldn't ignore, because he told her to sprint at that time. "Now go to your training, or you'll be eating fox food." Spangled Heart nodded. She trotted off the fallen slash pine and walked up to Clover and the mentees. "Don't we have training to do?" she growled softly. "Of course we do. We were assigned to fighting lessons to train for the big hunt." Bramble grinned peacefully. Spangled Heart's hackles bristled with competition. She wanted to get to fighting lessons, and now. Clover stood up, her stance spread out across the ground. "Oh, now the horrible hunter wants to fight. She couldn't even catch a cardinal." Spangled Heart taunted with a wide smile. Clover tried to hush the growl building up in her throat, but it only got louder. Surprisingly, she put her paw down. She didn't want to get into a fight again. Instead, she walked over to the pup and gave her a nip by her stomach, warning her not to mess with anyone again. As Clover trotted off to her den, she turned her head up to the sky. "Good night, Maker," she whispered. Her paws were now on a soft pile of leaves and fox fur. She curled up into a ball, feeling the cool breeze of the night on her fur. Clover felt something nudge her. It was Bramble. She inched forward to him, his fur feeling soft against her face. "Good night, Mother. Good night, Father. Good night, everyone."